Well, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, one and all. Welcome back to the New Galaxy Gamers channel, and welcome back to our first city here in City Skylines 2. I hope you're doing well, having a safe, wonderful, and successful start to your week this week. If you're new to the channel, welcome aboard. It's great to have you here. If you're a returning member, welcome back to you as well. It's great to have you all here hanging out, having fun, all that good stuff. Joining the conversation in the Discord server and in the comments section. I do enjoy it. I learn a lot from you guys, even if it may not seem like I do. I actually do. And I hope you learn something from me too. Maybe you learn what not to do. I don't know. Uh, that being said, all usual disclaimers are in the description of the video. And yeah, we'll go ahead and get right to it. If you remember last week, we paid down a little bit on our loan. We created a new residential zone area. We also put in a fire station and all that good stuff. So we're going to get cracking, get ourselves moving, and get going. So let's grab our coffee, our donuts, our bagels, our Egg McMuffin, sausage, egg, and cheese biscuits, our favorite breakfast, lunch, dinner, or snack from our favorite local mom and pop coffee shop, and we'll get cracking. Okay, let me. There we go. Alright, so as you can see, we have with us here, we can afford. So as you can see, we put in the fire station here. What I'd like to do, because we can, is we'll throw in a police station right quick. Put that in right there. That'll take care of the police situation for us. We're going to go right in here because I kind of want to see now what our budget's going to look like. Alright. So let's give it a minute to adjust. It looks like we actually paid it off. Okay, well, it's telling me that we don't have a loan, so I guess I'll take it. We did have one. I must have paid it off. I'll have to look in last week's episode and see if we actually did. I don't remember paying it off, but we might have. Well, okay. So if that's the case, and I will trust it. All right. So if I don't have to pay off the loan, that actually works for the budget. That's actually a good thing. I think then what I want to do is maybe put a put a fire station there so that way it... We put that there to help them out. Okay, so they're now got coverage. You got coverage over here. You do not. Here's our industrial zone. Alright, how does that mess with our services? Oh, so we're still making enough profit that... Okay, so we are making enough profit, so we are making revenue. Yeah, we're fine. Okay, so we just gotta wait on putting a fire department over here, but we will put one here, so that way we don't have to worry about that. I don't expect that it will take us that long. And maybe we'll put a police department over here too in the industrial center. That'd be a bad idea. And we still have that high residential demand, as you can see, but our industry and our industry and office space and commercial is fine. It's just the high residential demand. We can't get that till we get to a big town anyway, so we don't need to really worry about that right now. But I do have ideas for it, so at some point, maybe in this episode, we will start planning for that, because I think we're going to get there pretty quick. It doesn't really... Alright, I'm sorry about the audio cutting in and out. That is a Microsoft problem that I cannot deal with. So Boontown is our next point of stopping, and then we've got Busy Town, and then Big Town. So we've got about 2 or 3 stops before we went to hitting Big Town. I think we can get there pretty quick. I don't really think it's going to be I don't think it'll be all that bad. Now, the one thing I do wish that I was thinking about this last night, and for all the games that I play, for City Skylines 2, one thing I did like from City Skylines 1 is being able to paint districts and set policies for those districts. I did like that. So I don't know, maybe they'll bring that back. There were a lot of things in City Skylines 1, quite honestly, I did like. And I think there are some things in City Skylines 1 that got handled better than, I don't know, in City Skylines 2. It just seems like it seems to me anyway, like you're the way they've done certain things in City Skylines 2, like for example, putting in the dump, it gives you a chance to make the dump bigger than you probably really need to make it for a city, especially if you're going to have incinerators and recycling centers and things like that. So I don't know where the real balance is there. I'm kind of torn in between that and having to and doing it the way City Skylines 1 does it, where you can paint specialized industries and things like that. I know in SimCity 2000, Cities of Tomorrow, you had a dump and you could add components to the building. For example, with the dump, you could add an incinerator module to the building and save space. City Skylines 1, you could put up a separate incinerator and help generate power for the city as well. So that may be something to look at and think about too. But anyway, we'll get there. But I don't know what the I don't know. I think if they were to go back and look at some of the good things from City Skylines 1 and combine that with the good things of City Skylines 2, you'd probably have something pretty good. You'd have a good foundation to move forward for sure. But I do think they've gotten City Skylines 2. Its load time is actually really good. I was timing it this morning when I loaded the game in, and the load up of City Skylines 2 and loading of the world, the game save, is much faster than it was in City Skylines 1. So that means they've improved that. Colossal Order did improve that and did fix that. Some of that is Unity, because they are on using they did decide to use the Unity engine for City Skylines 2. I can't remember if they used it in City Skylines 1 or not, but they probably did. So I think that was a good thing. The lighting has improved. The ability to be able to paint each building, I did notice that, and I want to thank a friend of mine I want to thank my friend Noah, who pointed out to me that, hey, you can actually paint each building now. That's really cool. Thank you for pointing it out. I must have missed that one. But that last update they did, actually kind of took some of that grayscale tint out of there. And that I thought was a good thing, so thank you for that. It could be better, but it's much better than it was. The rendering seems to be a little better too. So I think City Skylines 2 has the potential of being a good base. I would like to be able to open up the entire map and not have the boundaries around the outside of the map. And I think allowing maps to be bigger than they are right now might actually help. My concern is that they're gonna, with Ice Flake, they'll start going down that path of Sim City where 2000, where they made that mistake of you can't extend beyond a certain point, and then you have to have multiple different cities on the map. And you have to go to the world view to go to another city to work on that. Not saying that in itself is a bad thing. I'm just simply saying that I think it would be a bad idea if nowadays, when you got better computer systems that can handle bigger maps, bigger continuous maps, and I think that's the fear of developers, is they want to make sure I can tell you this firsthand, I always want to make sure that everything I do, every piece of code I write, is not going to tax a computer's resources. Meaning the hardware usage, like your CPU, your graphics card, your RAM, your hard drive base, things like that. I always want to be sure that, at least in my code that I present to you, that it's clean and smooth and stable and fast. And a lot good developers are going to want to be like that. But at the same time, a lot of big company developers tend to make this mistake where they will use monolithic code, what we call monolithic code, because it's legacy code. And basically they'll use that legacy code, they'll bring it forward, and they get complacent because they know it works. Well, over time, that legacy code is going to cause you problems. And so every so often you want to write the game from scratch, from the ground up, so that it's all new code and is modern. You want to always be able to keep your game modern and able to move forward. But big companies, to them that costs a lot of money to do, and so they end up staying with the legacy code, and then you end up getting programs and services that lag out of all the heck and make the end user really frustrated. So, I am glad Colossal Order refined the code. They used Unity, and I gotta say, Unity's not a bad engine to use, really. I know it's caught a lot of flack lately, but it's not a bad engine, really, to be honest. Okay. You got your dump there. I might put a recycling center there too. I think that would make some sense. Alright, let's travel back up across the bridge. Got over here. Okay, those are doing well. Maybe we'll put a forestry unit in here. Okay. Got our water pumping. Got our power. So we're doing really good right now. We will go down later and put a fire station in there. Cost 128 grand to do. Let's go over here and let's check, see how we're doing now that we've put in that fire station over here. That's going to help them out a little bit. Oh yeah, things are coming in over here nicely. That's beautiful. So that's building in, doing what it needs to do. That's really awesome sauce. Okay. All right, we're doing pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. We really are. I'm actually impressed. Okay, so we're gonna throw some commercial in over here. But I have that all waiting for. Not really seeing commercial demand yet. Yeah, no commercial demand, just a high residential. So that's where I'm thinking. What I'm thinking. So let me show you what I'm thinking actually for the residential. What I'm thinking. Oh no, I might put it. Maybe I'll. Now see. Oh, maybe. Okay, so maybe I could put a high residential area over here along the coast. Yeah, we could do that. High residential over here, a little high residential area over here, so it's near the coast. Yeah, we could do that. We'd have to hook it up to the rest of the city, but wouldn't be too hard for us to do. Yeah, that wouldn't be too hard to do, and it could connect to over here to our industry port that we're going to put in over here. And, the heck? Oh, we got a forest fire. Oh boy. Well, it's contained. Alright, well, we do have a forest fire. I don't know if we're going to be able to put that out on its own. Alright, let's go into our research points. It does look like we do have points for it. Fire, 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 fire. Where are you? Might actually help if I click the right one. Guess I need... What do I need? What do you mean I don't have enough development credits? You crazy? Oh, I don't. Okay. Well, that's gonna be a problem. It seems like it's dying out, so I guess it'll be a... Well, I guess I'll have to wait on that. I could always. It's not going to matter because you don't have the development points. Um. They're going to have the fire departments. I might have played this wrong, guys. Oh, I know what I can do. Yeah, I know what I can do. I could put a little office park in there. I think. Yeah, let's do that. Out of here. Drive along the coast here. Gonna have a little office peninsula right here. See? Alright, and we've now, let's see. That worked brilliantly. Oh, I was guessing that one and that worked. That worked brilliant. And we could put a little office space up here. We'll have a little office complex right here. There we go. Alright. And then we'll go into here. So, yeah. This will be like a little office complex right here. And, okay, and we can put and throw in a bit of commercial right here so that way they can, oops. See, there we go. Okay, so that'll take care of that area. That's one way to deal with that forest fire nonsense. Okay. Gonna be able to put the fire station in here real soon. Okay. Alright, we can put our fire station in. That'll take care of that. Alright, now our costs are going up. So now our industry is protected. It's got a medical clinic there. They got a fire department right there. So that's good. Got a little office district ready to rock and roll when that's ready. Need more offices, they can throw those in. We got stuff over here that's hanging out, having fun, doing all its thing too. Okay. Now I did actually look, when I had a few minutes off camera during last week during my lunch break, I did actually look to see if there was the automatic bulldozer mod had made it to City Skylines 2, and it does not look like it has, at least yet anyway. So it's kind of too bad, because I kind of liked the automatic bulldozer in City Skylines 1, because then it could take care of that and I wouldn't have to worry about it. So hopefully that'll come back at some point, but it is what it is. But I did look. All right. Hey. Yeah, I do kind of like this idea of mine. Oh, we could even run it along. Ooh, that's an idea too. Mini Manhattan right there. High-rise towers. There you go. This might be a good area over here now. I was going to say that might be a good area too, but I kind of do want to put my industry there. Yeah, I think the best place for the high residential is over here. What? I guess we could put city services on that little island. Like a dump, maybe. Well, actually, you could put wind turbines there and have them connect in. Need to. Okay, so high residential is going to go over here. Yes. And seems like it seems like our industrial port is our harbor is gonna be over here. So it's gonna be our harbor area. This will end up. I might have to think about that. That might stay small industry area, but our big harbor and port of industry is going to be over here. Makes the most logical sense. Then we can put our high residential over in here, and our low and medium residential can be over here. So yeah, that makes sense. And then we connect them all. Alright, so that's what we'll do. Kind of have an idea what we're gonna do now. I feel like we've got this contained, so I'm not too worried now. All right. So I think we just have to let this run now. We got stuff still building in, so we're going to be making a profit. We're not going to be hurting financially at this point. Now that that loan's paid off, we don't have to worry about that, so that's a good thing. We don't have any tech points. We are right on the cusp of becoming of hitting the next milestone of boom town. So we're actually doing pretty well. Will give us a tech point. So we are right there. And ooh, film actors mansion. Okay. We usually don't see that until we. Okay, so we've unlocked the film actors mansion. We'll put him over in the high residential area, high density area too. It seems like the right place to put a mansion like that. Let me see where we are. Oh, we're right there. We're like 120 points off from the experience from the boomtown. Oh man, we're right there. We're right there. Okay, well, how can I fix that then? Okay. Double lane transfer. Okay. Oh, okay. So you got to put those in there too. Okay. Okay. And there we go, boom down. And that gives us 7 Hills Residential. Seven Hills Residential is a residential building with an elegant facade and grand windows. Sorry. Originally commercial, it's now a sophisticated residential space. Its symmetrical design and ornate details make it a busy landmark. So it doesn't cost us anything to put it down. That's good to know. I don't know where I put it though. That actually does give us money to play with. So you need to, in order to get a bus stop, you really need just the terminals, which means you need to get Grand Village. Kind of stupid. Train. Can't do anything over here right now. Oh no, I got the... Okay. Oh, you need a taxi depot. Okay. A North American style. Alright, so I need a bus depot, and then we can do the bus stops. Alright. Cool. Alright, so that's what we're going to do in the next episode. Have we unlocked high resolution? No, we haven't yet. Okay. So that's what we'll do in the next episode, ladies and gentlemen, is the next episode is going to be our transportation network. We're going to start putting a bus system in and all that so that we can do that. We'll even put the taxis in to get them going and all that good stuff too. That way we can start building a network for buses. That'll actually help reduce, I think, I think that'll actually help reduce the amount of traffic in the city too, over time, which I'm all for. So we'll go ahead and do that in the next episode. So the next episode is going to be a transportation episode. I am going to let this run off camera for a little bit so that we can generate enough money to do that. And I will keep an eye on things just in case things go boom in the meantime. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do hope that you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button. Smash that bell notification icon to let yourself know when the next video comes out. And be sure to share the link to the channel with your family, your friends, your colleagues, your co-workers, your pet kitty cat, pet puppy dog, pet parakeet, pet bunny rabbit, pet guinea pig, pet monkey, pet orangutan, pet chimpanzee, pet panda bear, pet koala bear, pet polar bear. I don't know. Whatever you, a pet lion, pet tiger, I don't know. Pet bobcat, maybe. I don't know. But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, by sharing the link to the channel with others, it does help this wonderful channel grow, helps our wonderful community grow as well. And with that being said, I will see you in the next episode. I do hope you have a safe, successful, and wonderful rest of your week. And I will talk to you in the next episode. Happy gaming!